What's going on again, Vol Nation? This is Frank Rock. This is the House of Orange Sports Channel. The weekend, the news for Tennessee keeps getting better and better. Tennessee beats Alabama last night 24-17. The recruiting night, the feedback has just been phenomenal. And then just a few minutes ago, got news 2026, Tennessee adds another highly coveted prospect to that class, which is shaping up pretty nicely. Before we get in that, thank you guys for your support. Thank you for just checking out the channel. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. If you like the content, you know somebody who has not, seen the content or seen the channel, share it out to them. And if you're on the fence or you're just running across this, hit that subscribe button for notifications, as we will be live tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Things are really amping up with basketball this week, as I got a lot coming with that as well. But Tennessee gets a commitment from Kennesaw, Georgia, 2026 offensive lineman Brandon Anderson. He commits to Tennessee. He's been to Knoxville on back-to-back weekends for the Florida game, for the Alabama game. So it's obviously, I don't think it's one of those spur-of-the-moment decisions where he just got caught up in the moment, committed last time. I mean, maybe he did, but he's been there 2 weeks in a row. He's seen the atmosphere. He talked about last night how it was just insane, the atmosphere. And Tennessee has made him a priority. It says he has over 20 offers. And from what I've seen, it's big boy offers: Georgia, LSU, Florida, Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech is more, I guess, kind of local in that regard. But according to his rankings, so On3 and 24/7, neither one of them have given him a ranking as of yet. But ESPN and Rivals both have him as a 4-star. And ESPN rankings has him number 167 overall, number 21 in Georgia. Rivals has him the number 32 overall offensive tackle, 43 overall in Georgia. But a 4-star according to both of those. And it seems like it'll probably be a matter of time before he gets a ranking with On3 and with 24/7. But Brandon Anderson, according to On3, he's 6'5", 335. According to 24/7, I always like to see the discrepancies. He's 6'4", 320. So, either way, this is a guy with some good size. What's his ceiling? Is he, from what I'm seeing, though, he's listed as an offensive tackle, but the outlook for him and that size tells me he's more of an interior offensive lineman, probably more of a guard. I'm not sure about if he's played any center or not, but for sure, it looks to me like, based on what they're saying and that size, that has guard written all over it. And Tennessee does need guards for sure. Says that he had, according to 24/7 in the article on it, he had released his choice of 10 schools just this week and had set his sights on making a decision in December. Well, he decided this weekend he didn't need to wait any longer. He saw what he needed to see. And he said he was in the locker room. It was crazy, and it was going on. So, I talked about it. I said, this is shaping up to be a nice class. You've got right now in the fold the number 1 overall player for 2026, quarterback Faison Brandon out of the Greensboro area. You have tight end Carson Sneed out of Tennessee, and now you have offensive lineman Brandon Anderson. Faison Brandon has been there the last 2 weekends recruiting. This 2026 class for Tennessee is going to shape up nice, and I think it's going to have a heavy North Carolina tilt to it. Matt Ray of VolQuest.com last night put an article, or not an article, he put a note out that he had spoken to a lot of recruits. And that game last night, I'm telling you, put a big-time impression on recruits. The atmosphere, I'd seen people say that the storming of the field actually was led by recruits and their parents. I don't know how true that was or not. I don't know if that's been verified or not. But I have seen numerous people put out the notion last night that it was actually the recruits and their parents who were the ringleaders in storming the field last night. I know Tennessee had a lot of big-time prospects on campus last night. And, with Tennessee's radius, it's go Charlotte, it's Atlanta area, it's Nashville area. And I think for Tennessee, you'd like to get up into Virginia as well. But I think those Charlotte, Atlanta, Nashville, people ask, why do you play these neutral site games? You play it in those 3 places because that's where you're trying to recruit to. And that strategy, Tennessee plays in Atlanta against Syracuse next year. That strategy is starting to take shape. You wait and see next year. Tennessee is in on a lot of big-time prospects in the Charlotte area. Numerous ones were in town this past weekend or last night for the game. An impression was made. You've got David Sanders Jr., the top recruit in Charlotte, in the fold. You've got Faison Brandon, the number one recruit for 2026. He's not Charlotte area, but he is North Carolina. Tennessee is starting to plant a flag in North Carolina. I really think that's happening and what they're doing. This program, listen, I know it's not been beautiful this year on the field, but this program is 6-1. And I would venture to say in SEC play, they have not played a complete game yet. Did the light come on with Nico last night? We're going to see on that one. But if you're Tennessee's recruiting, you had a good weekend. You had guys who have been visiting other schools on campus last night. There were numerous guys, according to Matt Ray, who shut their recruitment down. Now, we'll see if that's the case or not. Do guys take more visits or not? But the fact that you're getting these dudes back on campus, you know, some of these guys like Marion Dye, Shady Hayward were a couple of them I saw said, hey, I'm done. We'll see if they take any visits or not. But I really feel like what this staff is doing, and, you know, we can question Glenn Ellerby all we want, development stuff. Glenn Ellerby, I thought last year had a good recruiting class. I feel like this cycle has been a good class, and I think they'll hit the portal. They're going to have to hit the portal for it. Now they've got one of their most coveted linemen for 2026. Talked about Brandon Anderson, that Ellerby, that relationship with him and with Josh Heupel, that they were both big-time factors in getting him. So, you know, you can never have enough linemen. You can never have enough offensive linemen. And Anderson said after attending the game last week that the Vols led for the longest, and Tennessee for sure was like my top school on it. He said the game day experience, it just amazed me. He said this last week, the fans were just like loud. This is what I love about Tennessee. And he said, and this is in regard to just last week, said this is my first time ever hearing a stadium this loud. And said the Vols made him feel important while he was on campus. Ellerby, offensive graduate assistant Kevin Pendleton, who I've seen mentioned numerous times, and he said also last week, they make me feel like this is home a lot. They push it hard to make me commit, but I'm still looking for a school. I'm still looking, but this is for sure like my top school right now. He said, Coach Ellerby, he loves me. He loves talking to me every weekend. Every day I talk to him once or twice a week. So kind of contradicts there a little bit. Every day is not every week, but still yet you kind of get the point with it. So that's 3 in the fold for 2026. And that's how recruiting has changed at this point. Normally at this time of the year, you're trying to get it would be your 2025 prospects on campus, finishing up those decisions. Most of Tennessee's class, though, is finished. It is flip season. You're going to see guys from Tennessee take visits. You're probably going to see Tennessee get some guys committed to other schools on campus. They were supposed to have had Austin Howard, linebacker out of Tennessee, committed to Mississippi State on campus. Was it Luke Metz? I could be wrong on the first name. Metz, Alabama linebacker commitment, was supposed to be on campus. I don't know if this was a token visit. This is really kind of the first I'd heard with him for a while. He was supposed to be on visit. I know Tennessee's working to get others on campus. And then, of course, you had Campbell, the Clemson decommit, who was supposed to be on campus this weekend. I've got to think Tennessee is going to finish that one. I don't think it's a matter of if. I think it's a matter of when. This is going to be a really good recruiting class. Tennessee, then, they're selective in the portal. They don't just take any and everybody. They're going to get guys who mesh with this program. This is going to be a good class. The key with Tennessee is going to be developing these guys, developing them on the offensive line, developing them at wide receiver, at running back, because you're going to lose Dylan Sampson to the draft. You're going to lose guys to the NFL draft at wide receiver. You're going to lose most of your offensive line, minus Lance Hurd, to the draft. The key for this Tennessee team is getting these, once you get these guys on campus, getting them to commit, getting them to sign on the dotted line. Now you got to develop them and start to build that roster. That's the last step with this Tennessee coaching staff and with this team. I think there's still a little bit of question in regards to certain positions, but things are really looking up. This program is nowhere near its peak right now. It is not at its peak. Now, if they win a national championship this year, sure, you can't do much more than that. They've got a long, long way to go for that to happen. But good things happening on Rocky Top. A big-time weekend, a big-time win, the first of what could be multiple recruits in the fold. Maybe not imminently, maybe not today, but this weekend will go to shape 2026 in a big way. You wait and see on that. Check out those membership tiers. If you get a chance, just hit that join button. That'll show you what's listed. Hey, if you got suggestions, leave me a comment. Leave me a comment on that. Leave me a comment to know what you think about Tennessee's recruiting, what you think about the trajectory of this program at this point in time. Check out the Patreon, $1 a month. And, as always, just thank you for your support. It's greatly appreciated. This thing does not exist without you, the fans. You, the fans of the channel, who've checked it out, who've given this thing a chance. Hope to see you guys tomorrow night. I think it'll be myself, Carrie Ann, Backwoods, all on here tomorrow night. We'll see. I got to confirm that with those guys. But hope to see you guys tomorrow night, 7:30. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel. Oh, yeah, you know it. Last but most certainly not least, go Vols.